Competition question from I can't pronounce the name. Sudij. I'm totally getting that wrong. Sorry. Do you ever consider that your web app idea might be copied by a larger organization with a bigger team, larger marketing budget, etc.? What do you do to protect yourself from this? This is a question that comes up a lot. How do you deal with the competition? Someone's going to take your idea, someone with more money, a bigger team, all this stuff, they're just going to do it. Microsoft's going to come rip you off, Google's going to come rip you off, whatever. And that could certainly happen. There's a lot of competition in our industry, tons of it. The people I'm most worried about, although I don't really worry about competition at all, but the people I'm most worried about are the people we don't know about. The small team in the garage who's coming up with something much simpler than what we're doing. Because typically what happens is big companies, let's take Microsoft for example. They've got all the money in the world, they've got all the people in the world that they need. They're not going to build a simple product because they simply cannot do that. On any given project, they're going to put 10, 20, 30 people on it, and they're going to put a big marketing budget on it in a 2-year time frame. Well, when you have, and I'm exaggerating, or not even exaggerating, I'm making some assumptions here, but you sort of know what I mean. When you do that, you cannot come up with a simple product. When you have 10 people working on something, you're going to get a product that looks like 10 people worked on it, not 1 or 2 people. When you work on something for 2 years, you're going to get a product that looks like 2 years of time were spent on it, which means scope creep, which means a lot of things going on that probably aren't necessary. You do not need 2 years to make something simple. When you have a lot of money to spend on marketing and a lot of money to spend on R&D and all this stuff, you're typically going to get a product that looks like a lot of money was spent on it, which means it's going to be really fancy and really shiny and very innovative, but how useful is it going to be? Now, of course, there are exceptions. You can look at companies like Apple, but let's throw out the exceptions. Let's just get rid of some of these exceptions. I feel like we kind of always throw back at these exceptions like, well, Apple did it. Well, okay, forget Apple. How many other companies are able to be a huge company and be incredibly innovative and build simple products? Very, very few. Big teams do not build simple products. Simple products are built by small teams. Easy things are built by people without a lot of money and without a lot of resources because they have no choice but to build simple products. They don't have 2 years to waste. They've got 2 months. So they're going to make something simple. So if I'm worried about anybody, it's the simple team that comes out of nowhere with a brand new idea that no one's done before, not the big guys who are looking at what you're doing and rip it off. They're not going to just do what you're doing and rip it off. They're going to do what you're doing plus a bunch of other things because that's what they need to do to justify their existence. And their cost structure. Here's the other thing that people forget. Microsoft cannot afford to have a product like Basecamp that's $12 a month or $24 a month. Their cost structure is enormously different from ours. So they're going to charge $50 a person a month, not $50 for 15 people a month or whatever. Their whole existence is completely different. So I wouldn't worry about the big guys so much. I'd be focused on the small guys. If you're focused on anyone at all, my fundamental point is actually don't focus on the competition whatsoever. Focus on your customers. There's 2 C words, competition, customers. Get the customers right, and you don't have to worry so much about the competition.